Jr.? Dead? How terrible. And you think two of my boys were involved in the shooting? I mean, something's horribly wrong. My boys are good boys. Not perfect, maybe, but Keith is a wonderful son. You say he's confessed? Kill Ed Jr.? My God, this is a nightmare. There must be some kind of mistake. You must not be reading the evidence the right way.
There's no mistake about at least two of your sons being involved, Jill. And I assure you, we're careful readers where the evidence is concerned.
Anthony and Billy have both been in the kind of innocent jams that every boy gets into. But Keith is good as gold. Those boys are the joy of my life. Anthony, Billy, Keith. Anthony's got an impulsive streak, sure, and Billy's in the middle going with the flow, whereas Keith, well, he's the peacemaker. He keeps my other sons out of hot water. Any of them murderers? Oh, it's absurd. It's simply unthinkable. Nothing happened. My boys wouldn't do this awful thing to Ed Jr. Of course, they've been pretty stressed out, losing their father in that horrible electrocution. Then the responsibility of inheriting their dad's rights in the band. See, ever since the reading of the will, that greedy bastard Eddie's been trying to weasel the rights away from him. Legal maneuvers, and not so legal maneuvers. All I can figure is, maybe Ed Jr. got himself in the middle of all that. I mean, it's true, my boys never, really got along with him. But I can't picture them being involved in this terrible thing. And if by some bizarre happenstance they are, retaliation against Papa Eddie through son Ed is all I can figure. Ed Jr., though, was class. Eddie, you can forget the C and the L.
Thank you, Miss Wilde. Rest assured, if your boys are innocent, we'll do everything we can to clear them. Our only goal here is justice.
Not that much. Decent drummer, real laid back. Lots of drummers are wild behind their kit and then zone out off stage. Of course, his father, Eddie, we have history because of the band, Bullet Train. Ever since I left back in the 80s, the Tillises and the Wilds been like, the Hatfields and McCoys of rock and roll. Not that I remember Ed Jr. buying into that particularly. They share an apartment, but keep an unlisted phone number, hiding from the limelight. As the offsprings of somebody as famous as me, well, it's a burden, It's, not that far from the gift shop where Ed Jr. worked, come to think of it. Maybe a quarter of a mile. You want the address? Here you go. I told you what I know.
Yeah, well, thanks. He was a good kid. Such a good kid. I can't believe, even begin to believe it. He had his own band, Ed was the drummer, and a damn good one, too. So much talent. Such a loss. Such a loss.
We have a confession from the youngest Wild boy, but he claims to have acted alone, and evidence indicates a second assailant.
Those goddamn kids of Jill's should have known. You need to look at that no-good punk Anthony. But they're all punks, spoiled trash. Talk to their mother. Even she'll admit any one of those bad seeds could have done this awful thing. Where? You're not making a suspect out of me, are you? You think I'd kill my own son?
We're just trying to cover the bases. Investigations are in part a process of elimination.
Well, mark me off your damn list right now. I was out on a date last night. I went out to dinner. Call the broad if you want. No, I can think of 100. I've had issues with Jill for a lot of years, and her sons and my son were oil and water from birth. From childhood, those three would gang up on Ed Jr., but God help them the times Ed got any of them one-on-one. See, it's a matter of parental choice. I chose to raise my son right. She chose to spoil her three evil brats. I don't have anything else for you.
We confirmed he was out on a date, but he probably won't get another night out with the young woman who says Eddie did nothing but bitch about his ex-wife.
Anthony Wilde, Billy Wilde, Gil Grissom, Vegas Crime Lab.
Crime lab, huh? Cool. Well, you won't find any test tubes here, but mi casa is su casa. I'm Anthony. This is my brother Billy. He's the one with the beanie. I suppose you want to talk about Keith. He hasn't been around since last night, and we were both worried because he took his guns with him. Like I said, last night, 8:30 maybe, right after dinner. Flew out of here hotter than hell. I asked him what was up his tailpipe, and he just said he was going to take care of business. Hey, he's okay, right? Yeah, he didn't get hurt or anything, did he?
Eddie's son isn't so lucky. He's been shot, fatally shot. And your brother says he shot him.
Keith shooting little Ed? Man, that's way off the hook. Whoa, something must have really set him off. 'Cause he's the wild who's not that wild. Well, a little while after Keith left, Billy and me, we kind of freaked out, you know? I mean, Keith flies out of here with 2 guns stuck in his damn pants. What's that all about? So we went out and checked his haunts, like the video arcade and a burger joint. Nothing. So we finally blew it off and headed back to the crib.
Did you stop by the Old West Tourist Museum, where the victim worked a few blocks from here?
No, why would Keith go see Little Ed? We weren't tight or anything. Little Ed and us Wild brothers. In fact, Billy and me, we headed off the opposite way. Why, is that where it went down? Only thing I can think of, and it isn't any kind of murder motive, but a couple days back, Keith came in and caught Little Ed in our apartment, fiddling with our laptop case. Like I said, we weren't exactly tight, and Keith ran after his ass. Little Ed scooted, left the laptop behind, but Keith lost him. Just all the legal documents and stuff about our rights to Dad's old band. Like I said, mi casa, su casa. Our prince, your prince. We only want this thing cleared up and Keith back home with us. Go for it. Anything to help get our brother out of this jam. But stick to the living room. Bedroom's kind of a mess. Maybe later. For now, stay out. What did my brother say? 8:30? Yeah, about 8:30, I guess. Sure. I guess that'd be okay. I don't have anything to say to any of you.
Here's a fabulous flashback. Kathy, the lead singer wannabe. Think the Trips were fans?
I don't know anything about it, except that it ain't mine. Oh hell, that's not evidence of anything except us tying one on, or in this case, off. Some chick was doing an impromptu Girls Gone Wild at this bar. Traded her a beer for the doodad. Hey, I wasn't looking at her face, but you want to arrange a topless lineup? We're there.
So our Vic may have been in the Trip's crib when he touched this. Broke in to steal the laptop, got caught, but skipped. Then two of the brothers confronted him at work, bringing their own guns to exhibit. Pink fiber from our Vic's fingernails matches this bra. Links Anthony and/or Billy to the crime scene.
Hey, what's up? He's on his way to interrogation now. If you're innocent in this, time is running out. You're looking at murder charges if you don't come clean.
I came clean with you people a long time ago. You wouldn't know the truth if it bit you on the butt. I got nothing else for you people.
Already have. Anthony and Billy weren't seen by anybody at that arcade or the burger joint. Ms. Cantanta is still a guest of ours, in jail awaiting trial. I know just where to find her.
I was wondering when I get to hang with my crime lab homies again. Finally figure out I'm not guilty? Drop by to spring me?
Not exactly. We're looking into another matter, and if you cooperate, we'll let your judge know.
About as well as you know 3 Chucky dolls on the shelf of a novelty shop. Something whacked about that terrible trio.
Ever party with them, or go on a date with any, or all of them?
Yeah, right. That's my idea of a big night out. Party with 3 identical weirdos. I'm not exactly a virgin, and maybe those 3 getting laid would make them less a freak show, but I'd rather spend another night in lockup with my new best friend, Darnella.
Good to know you have standards.
Ed Tillis? Well, one of him sure beats 3 wild ones. I mean, he knows how to make a girl hear music, and I'm not talking download. Only hooked up a couple times, but if you're offering a conjugal visit... No, not my size. I'm up a cup. Why? What's this about? Auditioning for the Jailhouse Follies?
Ed Jr.'s dead, shot and killed, and 2 of the trips we think are implicated.
Ed? Oh, hell. Damn! That is a waste and a half! He was worth all 3 of those identical creeplets. Sorry, I can't think of anything else to tell you.
Direct link to the crime scene, and we're in the market for a second shooter. Let's see if their stories are identical, maybe so identical we can trip up the trips.
If I tell you what I know, you have to promise to let Keith off. This was strictly self-defense, I swear to you.
Keith stays put, and so do you and Billy, until we know exactly what went down at that shop.
Okay, alright, straight skinny, no fooling. Keith grabs the guns at our crib, says he's gonna have a little friendly talk with Little Ed at the shop. We tried to talk him out of it, but he wasn't buying, and it's like only a couple blocks away. So we get there maybe 9 p.m. Yeah, so anyway, we get there, and Keith and Little Ed are in each other's faces, you know? Little Ed dangling that pink bra at Keith, yanking his chain about how he, Ed Jr., could get any piece of tail in town, whereas we are 3-time losers. So I go over there, you know, and just grab that thing away from him, the bra. And then, way over the top, man, Little Ed, he yanks a gun from someplace, and you know, he just starts blasting away for no frickin' reason. And Little Ed yells at us to get our asses out, you know, and Keith, he scrambles for cover over by the door. We're outside in like a heartbeat, booking it back home, only we hear shots, but we just keep booking. I mean, come on, really, it was self-defense. Keith didn't go in that place wanting to kill Little Ed, or anybody. Maybe scare him a little after he broke in our place, right? And Little Ed pulls a freaking gun? I mean, what was the guy on, anyway? And hey, what else should Keith do but defend his own ass?
Not exactly a band of brothers.
Look, all 3 of us know our way around the iron. We all had small arms training. We all can take care of ourselves in a jam. And Keith was the one with the guns, right? How much use is an unarmed fool in a firefight? Scab? Huh? Guess there is. Don't know where I got it. Guy my age knocks around, you know?
Maybe this'll knock your memory loose. As triplets, the blood left at the scene matches all of you. Yet you, Billy, have the only visible cut.
Bill, remember when we were playing basketball with those guys over at the schoolyard? You got that there. Yeah. I must have got cut or scraped playing ball, you know, throwing the old elbow. Not at that shop. Hell no, not there. Nah, little Ed was closing. Just him and us three.
Evidence tells us 2 shooters in addition to Ed Jr. Ed's wounds indicate just one of you, Keith or anybody, couldn't have done the deed alone. Maybe you 3 musketeers did an all for one and one for all and stayed and helped Keith finish up.
No. You heard what we said, Billy and me. That was straight. Come on. Yeah, we didn't even have the guns. We were lucky to get out with our asses in one piece.
If Ed Jr. had a reason to break into your apartment and try to steal that laptop, we need to know what was on it.
Hey, no problem. We'll give you the key to the laptop case and you can knock yourself out. That's all I have to say right now. Same here.
Case was secure, documents encrypted. Someone didn't want anybody seeing this material.